Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be painting this John Deere M2 plow. This is a 2-furrow plow for a John Deere Model M, and today, like I said, we're going to be painting it. So the first step for me is going to be looking at these decals on the side and trying to recreate them as best as I can before we paint over them. I should have done this a couple days ago, but it's better late than never. We also have to mask off some different stuff, but it should be a really good day, and hopefully everything goes well. Alright, so this is my painting setup. We're just in the back of the shop here. Got a tarp over there and a tarp over here, so we should have a block against any overspray. Over here on my table, over here we have the air and my gun set up in like this cardboard box here, so I can pour it in. Gun cleaner, acetone, hardener, and John Deere paint. We're going to use the classic John Deere paint and the buff primer from John Deere, and hopefully it will match my tractor. Got our mixing cup here, and remember, you got to wear a mask because you don't want your lungs green. Anyway, this is a little thing about how I paint my tractor. Here, there's just two sides. I'll put a picture in the video right now. That's just the way I did it for my tractor, and that's the way a professional John Deere painter told me how to do it. So take it for what it's worth, and hopefully you can use that if you're also doing a project like this. So you can see I painted the back of the bottoms black, and we're gonna mask them off and hopefully paint everything else green. Also, I put a garbage bag over this wheel back here because we don't want it, the yellow wheel, green. And then we have different couple parts here, but everything should paint up really nicely, and I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So I'm gonna get started designing these decals here. You can kind of see there's says John Deere there. And over here it says M2 because this is an M2 plow. So I'm gonna get started designing those, and I'll see you when I get done. Alright, I'm over here designing the sticker, and I'm just using Silhouette Studio. We have a vinyl cutter here that we're borrowing from our local library. You can borrow them from our library, and we're using it for this project. So yep, I just designed it, use this ruler here, and I just measured it up, and it should turn out good. So I'm gonna go do the other two stickers. There's a John Deere over there, and then there's the John Deere Quality Farm Equipment logo over there on that side. So we can go design those. Okay, I just finished doing that sticker, and you can see I'm getting ready to do the little John Deere down there. I just got that off the internet, and the way you trace that is you hit trace. It's this little butterfly thing here. Let's see if I can show you how to do that. So you just click this in here, and you push select trace area, and you put a box around your logo like that, and you push trace right here, and you can X out of that, and then drag your traced logo over here. You don't need this anymore, so you can go ahead and delete that. And then you can make that whatever color you want. Color doesn't really matter in this program. It's whatever color you put in the machine is what it's going to print, but I'm going to make that whatever size I want, and that's going to go right there. Can't really see it, but when I was wire brushing this unit, I took that off while I was wire brushing it, but I did notice there was a little logo there, and that looked to be the same one as that, so we're gonna put that on there. Should look really good. Alright, so now we got all the stickers done. We're about ready to start priming it, and like I said, I should put some those pictures in here, and hopefully that helps you guys out. I'm going to use the buff primer, and I'm going to use this acetone right here. but we're not ready to do that yet. I should tell you guys what I have done on this plow since you guys have last seen it. If you saw the first full video I did on this plow, it was pretty much the introduction to this project. And this plow has gone through a little bit of work since you guys last seen it. I went over the whole thing with a wire wheel on a grinder, pretty much the whole thing. And I went over it all with brake cleaner, and I power washed it just yesterday. So it should be nice and clean, good to paint it up. So that's what I've done on this plow since you guys have last seen it. I didn't do too much filming then, so yeah. This plow is actually not for a 3-point hitch. This plow is for the John Deere Model M hitch that was only on the Model M, and it's kind of like a 3-point hitch, but it's a little different. If you're wondering what that big bar is for, that's part of the John Deere hitch system. Some people call it a 2-point hitch, but it's a kind of an interesting thing. Maybe I'll do a video on exactly how it works in the future. But anyway, here is one piece for the system. This goes on the drawbar, and this is the other piece for the system. This goes on the tractor. This is essentially the third link, and it's upside down right now, but basically these go on the tractor somehow, and it all works out. So I'm gonna, now that you guys are filled in, we're going to hopefully start priming very soon. All right, we got everything masked off. Just little things like the grease zerks, and there's a spring here that I painted up when I put it on there, so it doesn't need to be repainted. Also, I kind of did a black, painted the bolt black, so didn't really want to mess all that up. Got the wheel, got a garbage bag on the wheel and the plow bottoms, just so they don't get green. But this is a lot simpler than my tractor. If you guys haven't seen it, I did a video on painting my tractor. It's a 1949 John Deere Model M, and that was a lot of work. So this is just a walk in the park. That was almost a year ago now. But yep, got all of our supplies, and I'm gonna start painting rather soon. Alright, so we just got the first coat of primer done, and it looks good. I think we're only going to do one coat of primer, and we'll do paint next. So it looks really good, really happy with the way it's going so far, so it's good. Alright, so it's been a while. We're getting ready to start putting the green on, and we're using the classic John Deere green paint with the John Deere buff yellow primer, and yeah, we're getting ready to paint it green. So I'm going to mix up some paint here, and I'm going to start spraying. Alright, so it's been drying for a little bit. You can see it turned out really, really nice. I finished painting a couple hours ago, and I haven't touched it to see if it's still a little tacky. Not too bad on the tape there. Let's try. Not too bad at all. So it's a little tacky, but I'm going to take off the tape because on my tractor I left it a couple days, and all the chemicals in the paint apparently aren't very good for the tape, and a little bit of the sticky stuff on the tape will stay. I had that experience with the belt pulley. I'm not sure if it was the tape or something else, but I've heard it that you should peel the tape off before the paint fully cures. So that's what we're going to do tonight, and we'll be able to see how good it turned out. All right, so there it is. It looks great. Let me know what you would have done differently in the comments. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. All right, so there it is. It looks pretty awesome. So next time you'll see it, I'll probably have all the parts taken down and this whole paint setup taken down probably. But the next step is probably going to be decals, and I'm pretty excited to see it all finished up. Hey guys, welcome back to another day of plow work. I have my tractor in here. just unhooked the sickle bar mower a couple days ago. I was mowing some ditches with it, and I unhooked it from my tractor, so I'm glad I got that done. And now we're getting ready to hook up to the plow for the first time since I got the painting done. I also sold the parts tractor, and if you haven't seen the short on that, I sold it to some people who run a YouTube channel called Rewired Works, and they're gonna make it into something really cool. If you want a hint, it might not go putt-putt anymore. It might make a different noise, or it might not make any noise at all. So see if you can guess what they're gonna turn it into. But I'm really happy with the way the paint job turned out. Looks pretty awesome. And I just put the saddle on the tractor, and this is actually custom. We got this at a little hardware store. I guess it's not. We got this at a hardware store, and basically it's like an adjustable link with 2 eye hooks on the end, but we put a bolt through it on each end, and now we can adjust that. That's not factory. It's supposed to have a piece of tubing that goes all the way back there and then bends in like that. But this will get the job done. Also, this piece on the plow did not come with that part, so I had to make my own, but we got it working. So I'm pretty happy with how it all turned out. I'm gonna get it all hooked up, and we can have a look at it, and then we're gonna put the decals on. Earlier in the video, I was talking about decals, and we were able to cut out our own decals. There's a John Deere, and we got the M2 there, and this one here, John Deere Quality Farm Equipment. We also got all the other parts and pieces, and this piece for hooking up to the tractor. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to hook this up, and I'll show you when I'm all hooked up and we're ready to put the decals on. All right, we're outside, and I'm gonna start putting the decals on. I'm just gonna measure down from the top or bottom steel and just get it somewhat in the center. Mark a couple lines and make sure it's straight. The decals are straight with the top and bottom of the steel on the plow where I'm gonna put it, and I'm gonna put these 2 on. We can move over to the other side and put those 2 on. All right, so I just finished with the decals. I got this one on over here. Looks good. You can see the M2 about in the same spot where the last one was. And then I got the John Deere over here. I got a font that looks pretty much identical. Pretty much the only difference is the J has a little bit of a bulb at the end instead of cut off like that, but that's not a very big difference. But everything else is pretty much the exact same. And I got the John Deere quality farm equipment over there, and looks really good. Really happy with it. I'll hopefully be doing more videos at a plow day this year that I plan to go to, and hopefully go and plow with this nice looking plowing rig. Really happy with the way it turned out. Let me know if there's anything you guys would have done differently, and let me know what your favorite part of this restoration was. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.